talking about "In God We Trust" being on our money. And this person says, "We are not a theocracy. Seriously, Tom, why has no one sued because of that? Genuinely asking." And the answer is they have. People have. If you Google "lawsuit tries to remove "In God We Trust" from money, you will see that the Supreme Court rejected an atheist case to remove "In God We Trust" from money. So there have been lawsuits, and the Supreme Court has rejected them. Now, having said that, let me say this. I am an atheist, obviously, and I don't care for "In God We Trust" being on our money. I don't care for "Under God" being in our Pledge of Allegiance, because we are not a religious nation, and those terms were added to our paper money and to our Pledge of Allegiance in the 50s because we were trying to prove we were more godly than those godless Ruskies. Anyhow, these are not hills that I think that we should be dying on, in my personal opinion. And I understand what you're saying. It's little incremental things that lead to bigger things, right? Or what people will say. It's little incremental things. You let a little thing go, then you get away with a bigger thing, then a bigger thing, then a bigger thing until it's something that you don't want to fucking deal with. I understand that principle, but I would rather fight against having religious beliefs put into our laws. I would rather fight against religious rule through the legislative process than worry about what's printed on some dirty paper that's in my wallet that I never look at anyway. I would rather worry about fighting for the overturning of these draconian religious based anti abortion laws than worry about whether or not the word "under God" is in the Pledge of Allegiance. I just don't say "under God" when I say the Pledge of Allegiance. And then that's done for me. I understand that people get pissed off, atheists get pissed off when they see these things, when they say, well, it says "under God" on my fucking money. I can't even spend money in my country without having the reference of God be on it. So here's what I do. When I see the reference of, "In God We Trust" on my money, just think of it as this flying spaghetti monster. It doesn't specify which God. It doesn't specify whether it's the Christian God. It doesn't specify whether it's Allah or Buddha or Thor or Zeus or any of the other thousands of gods that have been worshipped over the course of time. So just picture it as whatever God you want. Flying spaghetti monster? So be it. "In ramen we trust." Ramen. Just fucking roll with it. Here, the bottom line is this: we're not getting "In God We Trust" taken off of our money, and we're not getting "Under God" taken out of our Pledge of Allegiance. So, in my opinion, it's wasted energy and resources trying to fight those battles when there are bigger battles to be fought, like keeping their religious rule out of our actual laws. Write whatever the fuck you want on paper. I don't give a shit. 90% of the country doesn't even fucking use paper anymore half the time. It's all done on a debit card or a credit card or purchased online or some shit. Who gives a fuck what's written on our money? You know what I mean? Let them write whatever the fuck. Let them put a picture of God on the money. I really don't give a shit. As long as we can keep their biblical thoughts out of our actual laws, then we're fine. That's the fight we should be fighting. That's the hill we need to be dying on, not what's written on our paper.